What's going on, everybody? How's it going? How you doing? So what we're going to be doing here is we are going to be pushing into one of the kingdoms as a Viking ruler. So we're going to pick our starting area, which is going to be Ulsterland or Vesterland. And then we're going to push down, and what we're going to do is we're going to do an island hopping campaign. This is what I've got planned. We're going to we'll start as Ulsterland, we'll take Vesterland, and then we're going to island hop, warlord style, down to, Ferryar. And then from Ferryar, we'll push down to Hjaltland. And from Hjaltland, we're going to look at pushing down to Orkneyjar. And then we're going to island hop here. So once we control these three islands, that will give us some maneuverability. That maneuverability is going to be based on whether we want to push into early Denmark, Sweden, or if we want to push into the Kingdom of Scotland, we can take the Scots. Or alternatively, we sail around and we raid Ireland. Now, Ireland is going to be a nasty little melting pot of raids and nothing else. So, in order to generate money in the style of the raider, we have an heir already. Ooh. Gardarsson? Svararsson. Svarvarvarvar. Alright, so we are going to go ahead and start out. You know what? We can do the Chiefess. We'll do Chiefess Alder of Vesterland. And then we'll take over Ulsterland. And we'll go from there. So, we'll see how it goes. Oh, they're Catholic. Never mind. We are going to do Ulsterland. And we'll go from there. So let's go ahead and start it up. I want to start as Norse. I don't want to be the Catholic Norse Viking. I want to be a Stratu. Or a Satru. And take our faith. Once we conquer Vesterland, we'll get that converted, and then we'll continue on our little island hopping campaign here. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Svarvarvarson. Alright, let's hit a pause. So, let's go ahead and pick our focus here. He's diplomatic, not much good and much else. So, we are going to go with the diplomacy thing here to start off with. What we're going to go ahead and do is, I think that we are going to go with the majesty focus. Now that we've got that squared away, let's take a look at our heir and our son. We can't select his initial titles yet. However, what we can do, or his initial learning focus, because he's 16 years old and he's my chancellor. But what we can do is get a military focus going up under the guise of being a undivided land. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at our raid targets here. So all in all, they've got about 1249 troops. They have a little bit more than us. That's okay. We're going to look at alliance power here, and we don't want to unite with anybody that is a potential target for our raids. So, the way that it's looking right now, we don't want to do anybody in this area, so we're going to hold off. We already have an heir, so it should be alright. But what we can do is go ahead and marry our heir. So, what we will do, doesn't look like there's anybody with a good trait, so we will go based off of skill. Now, we want to try and avoid any type of negative personality traits. If I remember correctly, those can go down to your different children, so we're going to avoid that. We are going to go ahead and pick Ingisheror. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that. If you know how to pronounce that, please correct. Actually, we're going to go with Mayor. Overall skills, not the best. But we'll see how it goes. They are a very good steward. So we will unite them in marriage. Look at our options here. We can declare wars, we can hire court physicians, we can hire champions. First thing we want to do is hire some champions. So excellent. We've got some Bondi and some Vigman. Let's look at our champions here. Don't have a ton of money, so let's raise some of our troops up as raiders. Now, the reason that I wanted to do the martial focus is because you can very significantly... we do not want our son to be the leader of the raid. But it looks like we might not have a choice. Let's take a look at our council here. Okay, so we need to sway you because you're our spy master. Ganuppa. Oh man, we don't have a lot of options, huh? You're out, Ganuppa. What was that? Alright, so we're gonna send our raiders out here, and we're gonna go and raid the Irish Isles. Or possibly, actually, yeah, we're gonna come down here to Torshavn and do a little bit of raiding along the islands that we plan on taking. Now, this could ruin our infrastructure later on down the line, but we will take that as we have to. This will be important for our son. Hopefully he gets some interesting perks from doing this. Because if we gather enough money, what I'm thinking is we hire some mercenaries. Alright, so that raid is all done. We'll bounce out of there. We're going to come down to this island. We'll raid that. And then we'll come down to the chiefdom here and take that as well. So, looking back at our holdings here, see if we have any. We're going to determine our personal deity. And what we will probably do is go... We'll probably go with Thor. Actually, we're going to go with Freyr. We're going to up our control. Now that we've got our control upped, our heir is going to continue on his little raiding quest here. We're going to hit all 3 of these islands. And then once we generate a little bit of money, the islands are secondary. They could, however, lead to us getting some troops. That would be a little bit more beneficial. This will bring us up to about 30 gold being held by our military here, our raiders. Vesterland is going to be an interesting little push here because they are rocking with about, you know, roughly 1,200 troops. Alright, and then we will pop over to Orkney and see what's going on there. I also am interested in coming down to here and seeing if we can potentially get some of these. Now, it looks as if there are some military powers floating about down in the Irish Isles. Oh, that could be bad. Because they're going to scrap with us. No, they aren't. Okay. That's fine now. Not sure what that was about. I was a little worried that we were going to get into a tussle there, but doesn't look like we are. Alright, so we're going to send our boys home here with the loot that they've gathered. Our player heir has donned a new helmet and Grown a nice beard. Good for him. It looks like our holy person has messed up their understanding of the faith. And we've lost some piety due to that. Our spy master has gained 25 opinion of us, which is good. Now we're going to go ahead and sway our steward. Now, Gnuppa, our champion, does have a better understanding of stewardship. So we're going to go ahead and assign him over. So what we'll do is go ahead and start a sway scheme on him. We do have the option here to hold a grand blot. But we aren't going to do that either. Well, what's that give us? No, not yet. Do we have... No, we didn't take any prisoners in our raids. So I think what we will do to increase our military is we're going to go ahead and push down to... Ferryar. Down there. So, we're going to go ahead and declare war. And we're going to do it for Conquer County. Ugh. Okay, we're going to hold off. Instead, what we're going to go ahead and do is go on a pilgrimage. We can't afford that either right now. We're going to hold off all in all. I believe... Ah, yes. This is what we want. So, looking at it, we've got some Bondi. We've got some Vigman. Let's do... Let's do some Huskarls. That'll increase our military a bit. We are going to go and invite some champions. Then we're going to take a little look at the map here. You're a good one. You're in. Congratulations. All right. Let's take a look at him. So he is generous. So we are going to go with empathy and kind heart. We'll see what happens. Yep, that was a win. Now, I could be incorrect. However, I do believe that if you go based off of the personality traits of the character, 9 times out of 10 you can land a win with the little skill checks there. So looking at it here, once we expand down to the island countries, sorry, not countries, but the island provinces, we can push out and then make a decision as to which way we want to go. We're going to let our piety go up a little bit. We have another champion in the court. They are pretty good. Let's take a look. Yeah, they're pretty good. So we will go ahead and take them. Skills aren't the best, however, with these these perks, that's a pretty solid purchase. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Next thing what we're going to do is we're going to go over here and look at our tribal holding. We currently don't have the prestige to build anything. How can we fix that? Well, there's a couple different ways as a Viking ruler in which you can do that. It's been covered by quite a few people, but just in case you didn't know, raids, while also giving you money, grant you prestige. So, what we can do is we can pop over to the coast over here that look as if they've been largely untouched. We'll have to get closer to get a close-up view on it. But we'll go and check that out here. Now, what is England and Ireland currently is split up into multiple different little factions and rulers. Ireland is a much easier thing to conquer and take. So we may push Ireland and then take Ireland and then push up into these areas. We have a diplomatic challenge against Ganepa. It's looking at me as 13 diplomacy. We have 14. Good chance that we win, 62 to 38%. We'll try it. We lost 10 opinion of us. We lost. All right. So he is in the green now, so we can go ahead and cancel our little scheme here. Abandon that, as we are all safe. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to send our little spy master here over to find some secrets. See if he can learn anything of importance for us. Alright, we've got some champions. Do we have anybody that could be our court physician? No. What about our antiquarian? Nope. Tutor? Yes. So we are going to appoint one of our champions. Let's look at our seneschals. We have a courtier that would be pretty decent at it. We'll go ahead and appoint her. And then bodyguards. Don't I have personal champion? Yeah, personal champion. So we're going to do Arngrimr as our personal champion. And we'll go based off of that for now. Alright, so our troop count is looking pretty solid. They're still sitting at 1246. So not that big of a deal yet. Alright. I like the trial by combat. I do enjoy that. This is not the character for it, however. How am I looking health-wise? I'm feeling fine. We're in our mid-40s. So we've got some time here. They've got Bowman, Vigman, and Bondi. So the next thing that we're going to raise, if we come down here and look at our troops, our Huskarls counter both spearmen and archers. Archers. So, that's a bonus. We've got spearmen that's good against light cavalry and archers. Then we have our Vigmen who are good against skirmishers. Now, if we come over here and we look at their military, that is what they're composed of. They've got Bondi, which are spearmen, Vigmen, and bowmen. So, there's a decent chance that we could win the war if we go and attack them now. I don't do decent chances. I want 100% assurity that we will conquer them. Now, if we declared war on them, we've got some other options. We could conquer a county. It'll cost us 75 crowns. It's not bad. If we go for the Chiefdom of Vesterland, their capital, that'll also get us 75 crowns. So again, not bad. The military strength is pretty close to ours. We're sitting a little bit better on money. So, what we are actually going to do is expand downwards rather than the island. So this will push our military a little bit over the top, right where we want it. It will put us in the negative for piety, but that's okay. We can easily recover that. It won't be that big of a negative. That will drop us down quite a bit. What are our other options here? Alright, so are they all star true and Norse? They are. So, re-looking at our options here, we don't want to knock our piety all the way down to center. That would hurt. What we do want to do, however, we'll wait for our Find Secrets claim to pass here. We get another perk in the curiosity. Oh, we actually have quite a bit in the learning portion there. Okay. So, we're going to do Firm Hand. And then we'll do Benevolent, Inspiring Rule, and all this. So that'll increase a lot of our stuff. And we'll focus on that. Now, we might just ride out our ruler and build up our infrastructure inside of our county here. So, speaking of, we're going to go ahead and increase our development in the county there. Currently assigned to Foreign Affairs. That's perfect. Alright, that's fine. So what I'm thinking is, we could bring our raiders over to here where there really is no challenge. The Catholic chiefess could easily persecute the faithful Asatruans living there, and it is my responsibility to protect them from her evil influence. So we're going to send an envoy. It's a diplomacy challenge. Their diplomacy is 14, mine is also 14. So we have a 91% chance to get this. But we could get an unpressed claim. We could gain 100 piety, which is important. And we gain 20 stress. Stress is an easy one to work off. So we're going to go ahead and go with the first one, which opens up a little bit more of a path for us. So, we're going to push a war. But our military form, we're going to come down here. Now, with the size of their military, I don't think that they can fend us off quite as well as they'd like. But we're going to find out. Couldn't find any secrets there, so we'll tell them to just go ahead and hold off for now. Chill out. They are in the middle of embarking, it looks like. Or they were. Now, this battle shouldn't be too close, but just because we are disembarking, looks like our counselor took a hit. It is what it is. More space for growth. Alright, so let's look at our options here. Looks like Dietman is going to be our option for that. I'm not married, but I have a heir, and they're in the fight. They are Berserker now, which is pretty awesome. We like that. We do like to see that. So already we're at a 38% or 18%. I thought that said 38. My bad. We're at 18% in the war score. We captured some enemy combatants. Fasti, who is a quite accomplished marshal. So what we'll do is we're going to negotiate his release. We'll gain a weak hook and recruit him. That will be important because now we have a knight slot to fill. And what we can go ahead and do is, yep, he's already there. Welcome to the fight. Alright, and then we'll let them continue on conquering that island nation. Now, once we conquer that island nation here, that will give us, 1, our first vassal, and 2, it will allow us to up our military strength by quite a bit. Not a ton, but just enough to tip the scales in favor of us for when we push on Vesterland here. Now, we're going to have an option to make our player heir a landholder. We're not going to do that. That's not a thing that's going to occur. Alright, we won the war. Yep. Go ahead and give me that. We will grant this to our marshal. Let's take a look at what we got here. So, we've got a couple of options as it goes. So, a vessel fit for a chieftain. A chieftain's longship says much about him. It tells you how rich he is, how successful, what image he wishes to project to the rest of the world. I look at my current craft and deem it lacking. As if to punctuate the thought, a piece of the rigging comes loose with a crack, the whole vessel creaking ominously as it redistributes pressure. Commissioning a new ship is simple enough, but is a simple replacement good enough? Don't I deserve a vessel that tells the world about me? So, we had a couple of options here. We are content, so we could lose 11 stress. We could do Dragon, which is going to increase our diplomacy per level of fame. A monster to intimidate my vassals, which is terrified vassal tax contribution plus 20%. Or a Leviathan to carry my spoils. This would increase our army's loot capacity plus 50%. We'd lose 75 gold and we'd gain 80 stress. Now, in the long run, this is the one we want, because of the loot capacity capable of the army. But the monstrous flagship will contribute a higher amount of gold overall and per length of time, at least for our character's lifetime. We could do the dragon, or we could hold on to our money. Now I'm going to hold on to our money. We're going to go ahead and disband our military here. We need to grant this title to somebody. So, they'll become independent, however, if we do so. So what can we do? What are our options here? There aren't many. We don't have a lot of county control there, so what we're going to do is we are going to... Where is it at here? Increase our control. We'll send our marshal over there, have him put in a little bit of work. We're going to look at our realm here. We can't go above limited tribal authority at the moment. I think that what we should do is raise a runestone. It only costs us 50 gold. We get a couple different options here. I think I want the Clout runestone, personally. We gain 40 stress because we are forgiving. However, it'll speak of our victories in conquest, which is what we'll do. So what we'll do is Austerland, because we'll gain 250 piety and 350 crowns. Which is going to be good for us. So, raised voices at the Ting Meet. Ting Meets are a necessary chore for any decent chieftain, with all the freemen in the area turning up to discuss local affairs, market, and jostle for this privilege or that. As to be expected with such large gatherings, they have a way of turning heated, and this Ting, is no exception. I struggle to follow the details through all the yelling, but it seems as though men from Nordland are insisting on the validity of a will that leaves them large strips of land in Osterland. I have the option if they'll all tire themselves out eventually, which will get rid of all of our stress, or the large portion of it. We could get otherwise occupied, which is going to drop our levy reinforcements. Or we could pick support for one of the land masses. We're going to go with they'll tire themselves out. We'll get rid of our stress. Alright. So we've expanded our domain a little bit. Alright. So now what we've got is a little bit of an issue. And you might be wondering what that issue is. Well, as you can see, we're over our domain limit up there. We probably have enough troops to try and take this, as the military sizes are pretty similar, pretty close to the same. So, why not? Why not make that push? Well, instead, I think what we do is increase the size of our men-at-arms regiment. And then what we will do is we'll go on a hunt. We get opportunities to increase our prestige. Let's take a look. I must have scorned the mountains twice over by now and still no sign of game. Everyone expects me to return triumphant with the trophy, but as things are looking, I shall only return with shame. So, we have the nearest market should have a boar. We'd lose 15 gold. We have a 77% chance of gaining 150 prestige and gaining a hunter trophy, which would gain us plus 50 prestige. 22% we spend 150. Or we could get I will not sing so low, I'd rather return empty-handed. We get humble honesty. Our direct vassal opinion is raised by plus 5. I think what we go ahead and shoot for here is the 77% chance, because that's looking pretty. And we got it. That's that. So we raised their piety. We're getting 0.71 prestige a month, even with increasing the military. It looks like we gain another 150, thus putting our prestige back up to 518. It's good news. We're going to look at our decisions again. I've already picked Thor as my personal deity. So, it should be all good there. So now that our military is a little bit closer in size, we're only about 100 troops short. And that's okay. What we are going to go ahead and do is push our claim on Chiefess Alder. Now, we do have some other options here. We could try and seduce her. However, if you look at the intrigue skill between the two of us, they actually have much better base skill sets than I do. And their children also have very good skill sets. So, I think what we do here is we go ahead and look at our militaries. We've raised them up to their maximum capacity. I think we make the push. So we've got a claim. We make their push on their claim as an option. Now, this will also put us over our holdings limit. And if we look at our vassals, for the most part, buddy, we're gonna have a talk. Go ahead and convert over. wise. Let's take a look at the rest of our counselors and people here and make sure that all are as they should be. Alright, let's see if any of our... My personal champion has a better skill. Alright, what do we got here? So, I have a daughter-in-law, Mare, the wife of my son, and they have had a granddaughter. So we're going to pick a nice, strong Asatru name. Aslaug. And then what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and come out of here, look at our son. We're going to pick a stewardship focus on that one. We're going to go ahead and pass limited authority here. We will... Can we grant this to somebody without it becoming an issue? No. So we got a new little learning game here. We got a game of riddles. Riddles are a beloved pastime among the Norse. 2 or more players will exchange increasingly tough problems, often rhyming and steeped in allegory or myth. On one particularly long, lazy day, my champion, Arngrimr, thinks to challenge me to a game, with what must be half the people at court watching. We've got a couple of options. We can't afford to lose it. We don't want to throw him into prison because he's not a bad champion. He's actually quite well. So, we don't want him to lose opinion of us because he is our personal champion. He has a interest in our safety. So, what we do here is we're going to go ahead and go with the diplomacy path and see if we win out. We lost. Good for him. Everybody gains opinion of us in our court. It's also a good thing. So what we are going to do is we're going to take a look at our skill tree here. Okay. Let's look at our decisions. So we could hold a feast. Got about 32 gold. But I think what we will do is go raiding once more. We are going to go down here to the Irish Isles. And it looks like a decent amount of it has been raided. But there are some places that have not. Alright, the hardest part of ruling. By their very nature, king meets can often be extremely boring. If tempers don't flare and no one gets dramatic, then it's just a long list of low-ranking freemen discussing petty affairs and standing out in the rain. Yet, as chieftain, I am required to be here, growing older every second. Watching the men of Ulsterland talk each other to death, wishing for a war to save me from this living hell. I've got must stay awake, 57% chance that we gain 150 prestige, 43% that we lose it. I could be doing such useful things, guaranteed by our flamboyant trickster trait. We could get daydreaming about plots, which would give us +3 intrigue. Or this is pointless, I'm taking a net. I think we'll shoot for the prestige game. And we won it. We are now distinguished. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to sail down here. It looks like Eilik, or Meath, still has some gold. They're currently at war, so their border shouldn't be too well defended. But we'll take a look. It's appearing not, so we're going to go ahead and push in there. I am leaving, father. Me and Turiur are in love. You roll your eyes at Yumi. What is your fool of a son up to now? Turiur and I will seek adventure. The world is vast and there is glory to be found. I wish to shout Gardar shares Frey bountiful harvest at the world until it remembers my name. It is evident that my beloved son is being serious. I'm going to have to do something. So we've got some options here. So I think what we will do is the diplomacy challenge. We'll gain 80 stress, but we'll keep him at court. And that's what's important. So let's try that. We won. So he stayed at court. Let's see if that had any negative effects on him. It didn't. Not necessarily. Alright. Well, it's time to pick whether we want to be irritable or a drunkard. I'm thinking that we choose irritable. I think that's a pretty good one to have for where we're at right now. That brings our stress down there. We're going to do our raids. We'll bounce back into the ocean. We've got a returning army here. Looks like they suffered a pretty gnarly defeat. And it looks like they'll suffer another. Alright. Praetorian Guard. Come over here and we'll hit the small church over yonder. And then we will come down here to good old Thomond. And raid that as well. We've got some prisoners that we can go ahead and ransom off here. We can get 10 gold for them. And we can get 25 gold for them. So we'll go ahead and ransom them off for a little bit more extra money. I think we may have our raiders come home because our son is leading the raiding party. Sail back up here to Orkney. Looks like there's another raiding party here. So we're going to go ahead and cross over. And engage in the good fight. Our son was murdered. That's not good. That's not good, because now we do not have an heir. Which means that we need to find a spouse quite quick. We will pick a new champion for them. Let's see if there's somebody that has... Yeah, we'll do Angramir. We will assign our champion also as our steward. And essentially it looks like we broke and allowed for a siege as well. That's okay. We'll go ahead and sail back. It's pretty tragic that we lost our child. So we're going to have to get a little creative here and hope that we can produce an heir before I keel over. Disband our army. Sitting at 110 gold at the moment. So what we'll go ahead and do is hold the Grand Blood. Actually, we'll just host a normal feast. We'll welcome our friends. We have a new Goldie that likes us quite a bit. She'll gain 20 opinion of me. She's quite learned. We're going to go and find some more wine to increase the opinion of everybody. Oh, they're a physician as well. Perfect. Until next time, we'll go to our courtiers. Court positions. Court position. And we'll make our wife our physician. Our holdings have gone up, which means our military has increased. Now our military just tipped the scales large enough for us to take Vesterland. So what we'll do is we'll push across over here to Vesterland, and then, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. We will let our military increase. Let's take a look at our champions. Yep, go ahead and join in Aboldero. Let's see if, yep, we can go ahead and convert you. Perfect. Angramir. Not sure if you dislike me or not. Alright, so we've got most of our court converted, which is good. We're increasing our control very slowly over our small little island province here. And so far we've made some pretty decent headway as far as that goes. Our prestige is jumping up by quite a bit, and our income isn't doing too shabby either. So let's take a look here. Alright, once our military is back at full strength, we are going to go ahead and push our claim on Vesterland. Excuse me. And they just took a hit in their military, so we could potentially push it now. Their learning is ridiculous. That's wild. So we gave birth to a daughter, who will once again be Aslaug. Our primary heir is our granddaughter, which is fine. Delicate affairs. Working late again, my lord? My wife peeks over my shoulder, glancing at the documents overflowing my desk. I have some experience with these matters, she tentatively says. Perhaps I could help you gain Chief Alder's trust? So, she would lose opinion of us if we told her that it's not worth the effort. We could potentially... She could become our friend and she would help us. Or, we could push, and I think I can handle Chiefess Elder. So we're going to try that one. She lost opinion of me. That's fine. She's going to lose more opinion of me here soon. Our military is equally sized. We currently don't have... Do we have any... We do not have any prisoners at the moment. I think that what we do is go ahead and push our claim, or alternatively, we could subjugate them. I think that is what we do because their skills are outstanding. So let's go ahead and do that. So they're immediately pushing out to sea. Nope, we are going to take the land path. So we have the option here of challenging a chieftain as well to a trial by combat. Now, if we check his prowess, it's 2. He's a learned man. Our prowess, however, is sitting at a 7. Slightly better, but not by much. So there's a couple different things that we could do here. They could pay us 75 gold, or we could fight them to the death, which we'll do because that has a little bit higher chance of pushing us up. Actually, I think we'll hold off. One thing at a time. Let me not get over myself here. You know what I'm saying? Let me not push myself too much. You cannot cross all the way over from there. That is baloney. I don't know how you did that, but alright. We will go ahead and push the attack here. We will probably win. We'll definitely win. I'm not worried about it. Nope, don't run. Do not flee. We will only follow you, and you'll be tired. Are you gonna make it before I get to you? I don't know. You didn't. That's unfortunate for you. Chiefess Elder is leading the fight, and we are victorious. Our wife-inspired recruitment, which is amazing. That's going to increase our levy size by plus 25%, which is outstanding. We are going to go ahead and push their capital. We got about 8 months on the siege here. 7 months. It's going to take them a while to get over to Ostfurther. They are going to lose their growing army size once they hit Austerland. While we are already 4 months along in our siege here. Now, it is true that we only have a tribal holding and we do not have palisades. So their raiding time will be a little bit quicker than ours. Or their capture time, rather. But I'm hoping that by the time that they get there... Let's see. They've got 8 months as well. Which is unfortunate for them. Because once we push this and we take this, they will be significantly weaker in the long run. We're going to lose 26 stress, which is good because we are quite stressful. We're going to come back around here, and we're going to push our attack on them. Now, they're only about a month in, so they've got some time to make a decision here. But the question is will they survive us embarking on a ship, sailing around our coast here, and attacking them from the sea? Probably not, is the answer. We got about a 2 to 3 advantage on them, so we'll see. They could pull it, but I doubt it. We've once again pushed them back, so we'll push back to Suderland, and we'll push that fight. We have a high-quality force, which should worry them a little bit. We got another diplomacy perk here. We're going to do Benevolent Intent, which will bring us down to Inspiring Rule. We need to repick the learning focus of our granddaughter. And rather than stewardship, we are going to go for martial. Because it looks like, looking at their skills, they have a natural inclination to martial prowess. It looks like they are going to attempt to siege back their capital. Not having that. So we're going to go ahead and push to the barony here, and then through Skalaholt. Or Skalaholt. And we are going to hit their army, hopefully before they can flee. Now, we are just chipping them down point by point here. We're at a 99% for the war score. This should push us over the top. And then we will have another county under our belt. It's going to be a pretty pitched battle for them on this one. Yeah, as you can see. And then we will have the subjugations. We're going to go ahead and enforce our demands. So be it. We can create the Duchy of Iceland. So what do we need for that? We need 125 gold. This should bring us back into our holding limit. So what we're going to do is change all of our people to raiders here. We're going to go out and we're going to get some gold. We're going to try to get some gold anyhow. And once we create that duchy, that should allow us a little bit more range of movement. We're going to once again do the otherwise... Actually, we're going to do they'll tire themselves out eventually, just for a drop to our stress. And then we are going to sail for... not them, because they're a little strong. We are going to sail over to Hotland. We're going to raid them once again. Because it is what it is. We'll get this raid on here. Hopefully gain a decent amount of gold. And then we're going to come and raid some of the shoreline provinces over in this area. So So it looks like pretty much everywhere along the coast has actually been raided except for Ufasund. Let's set back out here. We captured Chieftain Snorri's mother. We're going to go ahead and ransom off here for an additional 10 gold. Let's take a look at... Pretty much everywhere has been raided over here except for Desmond. Comfort of a friend. Perfect. She becomes our friend. We lose 20 stress. Excellent. Alright, so what we'll do is we're going to sail over here to Afliki. And we're going to go ahead and hit them with a raid on their coastal village here. And then we'll see where we can go from there. We might go up here to Mari, because it looks like they have not been raided yet either. It appears that if... Yep, there is another group here that is raiding. Hopefully we can knock them out of the fight without suffering too many casualties. Now this is a prowess challenge, it's Leviathan. It behooves a chieftain to spend time at sea, with the salty air in his face and a fine vessel beneath his feet. Today sees my personal craft in a small escorting squadron out for drills, practice, and pleasure. The short voyage has been an exhilarating change of pace from life at court, when we spot it, a distant plume of water, followed by a small island of wine-dark flesh rolling out of the waves. The greatest beast of all the deeps, a whale. We could attempt to do a prowess challenge. It'll probably not work out well for us. We have a 32% chance to gain 100 gold, 67 to spend 75 prestige. We could just gain 50 gold. Or we could do a creature of fearsome majesty. Leave it. We gain 75 prestige overall. So I'm kind of liking the ideal money, but the prestige over time is better. So we'll do that. We're going to continue with our raid here. It'll take us a couple days. And then Mary has a military of 756. They're currently losing a war against, what is that? Hordland. Alright. And his son and heir. So we captured 2 of the chieftain's sons. Let's see what he is willing to pay for his sons. 50 gold, which brings us to where we need to be. And then once we get this back home, we should be right where we need to be to go ahead and form our duchy. Create the Duchy of Iceland. Why not? Let's create the title. I'm now a mighty Jarl. Now this is important, because you see our domain holdings were at 5 of 3. We want to get that down. So, let's grant some titles, right? So let's go ahead and give one to Arngrimr. He becomes our vassal, which is perfect. And then, let's go ahead and give a title of Reykjavik. We will grant that to our marshal. Actually, we're going to assign our commander and champion as our marshal. So, we will grant him Reykjavik. Perfect. Bring our boys home here, and then disband them. Now our military has grown to a whopping 1,800, which is good. So So we'll go ahead and disband our army. We have the Kingdom of Iceland. Or Iceland. Island? Someone's land. Ours. So with that, we have now formed our Jarldom. We are not yet a king, but that's okay. You're currently under the seemly number of concubines for someone of your rank. So, should we tank concubines? Probably not. Not interested. Alright, so let's look at our military here. No one that we can allow in at the moment. Our prestige is doing well. Our piety is doing well. So, what's next? Hotland. Like I said, we're going to be taking these islands. Now, it looks like Alba has taken Orkney. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. Our military currently is stronger than all of Alba, which is quite the rare sight. However, they are allied to Meath over here. That gives them a 680 boost, which is, you know, eh. We also need to get our council working on converting the faith, because we don't want an island that's split between Norse pagan religion, Asatru, and Catholicism. So, we're going to go ahead and convert it and get that all squared away. Now, I want the whole province here to be Asatru, because that is going to go ahead and eliminate any future possible uprisings of peasants, which we don't want. How much longer do we have on this? He's got about 23 months left, a year and some change. That's a alright time. So we're going to let our military rebuild itself a little bit, and then we are going to go a raiding. Now, I'm thinking that we go down here to Leon and do the raiding there. Now, Count Olafur Laxlafs of Leon is also Norse and also Asatru. So while we could raid him, we could also make him our ally. Now, we do have Sigurdur, Snake in the Eye, of Sjaland. So, we've got some options now, because we've got Bjorn over here holding Sweden. He's already got it formed. He's not messing around. Behold, I am Hraekr the Dole. Bring me tankards of ale, women, and pudding, lest you dare tempt my wrath. The man screams at the gathered crowd. Evidently, this massive warrior is bored and looking to start trouble. Perhaps his rage will be put to better use in my ranks. So, we do need more knights, last I checked. We're at 6 of 8. He's Norse, and he is an accomplished fighter. He's also Herculean, a flexible leader, a berserker, and a misguided warrior. But he would be good to have in our ranks. So, we'll pay him 15 gold and he'll join us. And just like that, we have another knight or champion in our ranks. As their Jarl, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law, but how much is obedience without devotion worth? In times of crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. Can I afford such a risk? So we have, I will win their unwavering loyalty, in which we gain generous liege. Vassal taxes are minus 5%, but the direct vassals gain 15 opinion of me. Fear is a far more effective tool. And our vassal here, which is our marshal, could gain wounded, and he'll lose 20 opinion of me. And then I could do, why should I care what others think of me? What we'll do is with the general's lord. We'll lose a little bit in the way of money, and that's okay. It's not a complete and total loss. Your chief, you and High Chief formed a strong bond of friendship. Good. Oh, very nice. We're best friends. Me and my wife. Best friends. Cool beans. Alright. So we've also got some options down here. We could push into Ireland. We could do England or Scotland. Tourney day. Every champion gains 20 opinion of me for 8 years. So we've got tourney day. The day is in our honor, my dear. So we could gain 150 prestige. Or we could cheer to our champions who would all gain 20 opinion of us. That's good. We'll do that one. So we are going to push. Can I offer him vassalage? Because I want to control these island nations. Or provinces. So we're going to go ahead and declare this war. He is deeply in debt. And we're going to go and liberate the peoples and bring them stability. And then once we hold this small island chain here, I think what we do is we go down here and check out the island of Mon. Now, this is currently held by Jarl Ivar the Boneless. Which, okay, fair enough. He has a strong military. But is it strong enough to stop us? We'll find out. As we expand downward, Alba itself has been split up and they are quite weak at the moment. We're going to have a small skirmish here with the household forces. But that matters not. We'll get our siege going there. And then we're going to come up with some plans as to how we are going to start taking a more structured kingdom. We've got a couple of options. We could push to Denmark and take on the Danes. Or we could push to Sweden and fight the Swedes. Or we could push into Prussia. Now let's look at our decisions here. We've got a couple of... Secure the High Kingdom of the North Sea. Which would be... We have to control Norway, England, and Denmark. Maybe we'll go for that. We can secure the High Kingdom of the North Sea. Why not? That's what we're going to push for. So we are going to have to push over and start taking the lands here. And then we'll also have to start pushing down into England and taking England. Ireland could be an issue, but they're kind of spread out right now. They could form a kingdom. We captured their chancellor, who is also a poet. Now, let's negotiate his release. Go ahead and join me. Perfect. And that fills up our last champion slot, which is also very, very good. Alright, and with that, we enforce our demands. So be it. We'll disband our army here. We had another daughter, who will be named Freya. We seized our first artifact. We'll open our inventory and we got Taraski's Horn. It'll give us fertility plus 15% and increase our spouse's opinion by 10. We'll go ahead and do that. Go ahead and throw that on. Alright, we're above our domain limit once again, so we're going to go ahead and grant this too. Let's take a look at our council and see if there's anybody else. So we have Hraker, who has an overall better stewardship. So we're going to fire them in favor of Hraker. We are going to grant Hraker his land. Perfect. Not all of our vassals are landed, but 3 of the 4 are, with the last being our spy master. So let's take a look here. Do we have anybody else that has a higher intrigue skill than them? Sig Trigger. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but let's see. We'll go ahead and assign them. And that's perfect. Alright, so we've split up our domain a little bit here. We have the opportunity and option to take 1 more land mass with the availability of our vassal. We're going to do Inspiring Rule here. Just going to go ahead and push our prestige up to +3 a month. We're not gaining any piety at all, which is unfortunate. We do have a prisoner. We have Alfred der Hers. Let's see. Nope, that's not going to happen. Alfred there. So you remain. You know what? You can join the group here. So we got a sparring grounds constructed in Skalaholt, which I didn't build that, but I'll take it. I'll take it. So we are going to go ahead and look at our options here. Can't build anything because we currently don't have the currency for it, but we've made quite a bit of good expansion over here. And then what I think that we'll do, let's look and see, is there anybody over here who does not have an alliance? Mary does not have an alliance. And they are also Norse. So we have Chief Magnus the Impaler. We could declare war on them and conquer their county, thus giving us a foothold into Denmark here. Or, on the flip side, Alba has regained its strength, so we've kind of lost our chance there at pushing into Alba. We could Varangian adventure. But what is the downsides of a Varangian adventure? This is a special type of war where the attacker intends to move their realm to the war target wholesale. If they win, they will immediately annex the appropriate counties and move their capital here. Their old vassals will go independent, and their old counties will be given to upstart local warlords. Varangian adventures are only available to Duke and Count tier rulers, becoming progressively more expensive with each successful adventure. This casus belli is never available after the tribal era and cannot be used against other cultures that can adventure or against neighboring rulers. North Germanics, launching their first Varangian adventure, receive up to 2,000 bonus special soldiers, the amount going up with every same faith, same culture county they control within the mainland of Scandinavia. So, let's look at our options. We could always push down into what is Spain. We could push down to Africa, Bavaria, or even, if we so chose, Polania. Bohemia is always an option as well. But for now, we hold off. We hold off. Now, it is looking like there is a small but manageable piece of Scotland available down here of Strathclyde. We could push to Ulster, or we could come down here and attack Connacht, but we don't want Ireland. We have some decisions to make, some options available to us, and we have an heir set as well. You guys will have to check out the next one to see where we go from here. Maybe.